How is everybody doing? Welcome back to another episode of the Banker Next Door. I'm your host, Dr. Joe Berquist. Today, I'm bringing you guys another AI update. I did one of these episodes a few weeks ago, and people seem to really like it, so I'm doing another one here. So in these episodes, I just like to run through a series of articles, try to bring everybody update on what's happening in the AI world. Today, I'm going to be covering a number of things. They're going to range from, data center, investment in a number of different states, building nuclear power plants, the race for AI talent. You got Mark Zuckerberg and OpenAI just running around, just trying to gobble up anybody that has anything to do with AI. They're just trying to get them all on board. But we got a lot of wild things, so let's jump into it. So the first couple of things I have here for you guys are Pentagon awards contracts to 4 artificial intelligence developers. So the contracts with Anthropic, Google, OpenAI, and xAI come with a ceiling of $200 million each to accelerate the military's adoption of AI systems. So what do we have here? So the U.S. Department of Defense announced on July 14th that it has awarded contracts to 4 U.S.-based artificial intelligence AI developers to address national security challenges. So Anthropic, Google, OpenAI, and xAI will each receive a contracting award with a ceiling of $200 million, according to a statement shared by the Chief Digital and Artificial Intelligence Office. The office said these 4 companies would help develop agentic AI workflows across a variety of mission areas. Agentic AI refers to systems designed to operate with minimal human input. Formed in 2021, the Chief Digital and Artificial Intelligence Office is responsible for speeding up the military's adoption of AI systems. OpenAI was the first of the 4 contract awardees to announce its contract with the Chief Digital and Artificial Intelligence Office. In June, the company unveiled OpenAI for Government and said its first partnership under the new initiative would help the Pentagon office identify and prototype new AI tools for administrative operations. Anthropic has developed the Claude family of AI chatbots. We'll have a little bit more on that coming up. In June, Anthropic announced the development of custom Claude Gov models intended for national security clients. Yes, and then Anthropic is a very interesting company. If you guys are not familiar with Anthropic, definitely look into that a little bit more. Anthropic is basically they're primarily started out developing drones for the U.S. military, but now they're really getting into unmanned jet fighters, unmanned submarines, basically unmanned vehicles that would be deployed. And this is what they're doing here. But obviously, the government's looking to massively accelerate this now, as they've got all these companies diving involved here. And obviously, Anthropic and OpenAI, I talked about, have some other side things going on there, which is really interesting. So obviously, what I think what's concerning is the kind of marriage here between big tech and government, which again is nothing new. I mean, that's been going on forever. Amazon's biggest client is the CIA. Microsoft's biggest client is the Pentagon, for people who aren't aware of that. So again, that kind of incestual relationship, if you will, between big tech and government has always been there. But it's, like I said, this is just kind of another, hey, just tying them together even more, I suppose. And then it's just another article saying the same thing. These 4 companies from CNBC announcing that they've got these government contracts. They're going to be rolling in here. And now let's roll into the AI talent race. So how Sam Altman outfoxed Elon Musk to become Trump's AI buddy. With his rival out of the way, OpenAI CEO has a clear path to press for company's goals, leaving the Democratic Party. So just 2 weeks after Elon Musk's spectacular breakup with President Trump, the tech billionaire's nemesis strode into the dining room of the president's New Jersey golf club wearing a suit and a wide smile. Sam Altman, the 40-year-old chief executive of OpenAI, had just finished a long one-on-one meeting with Trump, and the 2 men were about to dine with the president's top donors. Trump introduced Altman to the club's applauding members as a very, very brilliant man, adding, "I hope he's right about AI." That warm reception in June was a far cry from the cold shoulder Altman got in his first few weeks after Trump's election. Obviously, and then there's a lot of the animosity there between Trump and Altman. That's all well documented. So Altman, biding his time, quietly maneuvered around Musk. He put together AI infrastructure deals that Trump supported and avoided his former friend, who has sued OpenAI, the maker of ChatGPT, for allegedly betraying its mission. Altman forged his own relationship with the president, dining with him at Mar-a-Lago in March and speaking to him on the phone from time to time. A longtime Democrat who had once compared Trump to Hitler, Altman told associates he now regretted his harsh criticism during Trump's first campaign and term. Of course, with billions of dollars on the line, anybody would regret their harsh criticism. On July 4th, Altman posted on X that he was no longer a Democrat. Like magic, he's no longer a Democrat, saying the party had moved too far to the left. And left him politically homeless. It was an opportune time to change political stripes. Musk's abrupt departure from Trump's inner circle has left an open lane for Altman to secure government support for a huge global AI infrastructure build out that he needs, and to have more influence over AI regulation. That could have implications on how the U.S. government approaches the role of AI in everything from defense contracts to energy policy. Bingo. There you go. There you go. So Sam Altman getting himself the inside track, at least for the moment. And now we move into the epic battle for AI talent with exploding offers, secret deals, and tiers. The cutthroat recruitment efforts to land the smartest minds in Silicon Valley have hit a feverish new peak in recent days. So Silicon Valley is seeking a frenzy of talent raids among tech giants, with Meta leading the charge to recruit AI researchers. Mark Zuckerberg is offering massive compensation package, sometimes 300. Now it's a week ago it was 100 million. Now it's 300 million to lure top AI talent to Meta. Windsurf employees experienced a tumultuous weekend with their CEO leaving for Google, followed by an acquisition of Cognition. So, and then I do have this article here. So we'll come back to the other one in a second. So Google hires Windsurf CEO Varun Mohan, offer others in $2.4 billion AI talent deal. So Google on Friday made the latest splash in the AI talent wars, announcing an agreement to bring in Varun Mohan, co-founder and CEO of artificial intelligence coding startup Windsurf. Google is not investing in Windsurf, but the search giant will take a non-exclusive license to certain Windsurf technology, according to a person familiar with the matter. Google is paying $2.4 billion. The person said the deal between Google and Windsurf comes after the AI coding startup had been in talks with OpenAI for a $3 billion acquisition deal, CNBC reported in April. So now back to this. So hundreds of employees at one of Silicon Valley's hottest AI startups gathered in their offices late Friday, expecting a celebratory announcement. For months, OpenAI had been talking to Windsurf about buying it for $3 billion, and now it seemed like the rank and file were finally getting confirmation that the deal was about to become official, and they were all going to become rich. Wait, not so fast. Windsurf's marketing team even began filming the all-hands meeting for promotional materials. Instead, they learned that Windsurf's chief executive, Varun Mohan, if I'm saying that right, had left the company to join Google, taking with him a small group of artificial intelligence researchers and engineers, and leaving everyone else high and dry. And after hearing the news, some of the staff began to cry. I would be crying too. By Monday morning, another twist in the saga would bring those Windsurf employees back to the same room for a second announcement. The rest of their company would be acquired by a rival AI startup. In other words, it was just a typical weekend in Silicon Valley. Like, in other words, a lot of people were saying they were probably going to sue for getting left high and dry. And so as an appeasement, he basically had to work a quick deal to get the company sold off to another company so that none of these people would lose their jobs and he wouldn't get blasted with lawsuits. So in other words, just a typical weekend in Silicon Valley. The war among some of the richest companies on the planet for talent is playing out in an unprecedented frenzy of talent raids, secret deals, and betrayals, leading brainy AI researchers whose minds have never been so highly valued to become as rich as NBA players and Hollywood stars. The most powerful CEOs in tech are dangling pay packages worth more than $300 million to their most prized recruits, and even that kind of money isn't always enough to win them over. So so this is crazy what's going on here with these pay packages. So Now let's move on to another thing. So why AI darling CoreWeave's bid for its own landlord spooked investors. So last week I had announced the big acquisition between CoreWeave and Core Scientific, but apparently this did not go over that well with Wall Street, because basically CoreWeave bought Core Scientific, which is a data what is it? Data center operator, and basically I guess they all operate most, if not all, the data centers for CoreWeave. And so basically it was like buying their landlord. And so Wall Street didn't have as great of a reception to this as perhaps they thought they were going to. So the tie-up between CoreWeave and Core Scientific was supposed to be a hot deal for the artificial intelligence sector. Instead, they wound up pricking their own bubbly valuations. The signal from investors: Core Scientific shareholders don't want CoreWeave's bloated stock as payment, and they lack confidence its value will hold up through the fourth quarter when the deal is slated to close. So Core Scientific shares fell sharply after CoreWeave said it would buy the company in an all-stock transaction originally valued at $9 billion. They snapped up a 5-day losing streak on Monday, but remained down 25% since the July 7th deal disclosure. So just, again, very, very interesting. We'll have to see where that goes. At the same time, CoreWeave and Blackstone to invest over $30 billion in established data centers in eastern Pennsylvania. So CoreWeave and Blackstone are going to invest $31 billion for Pennsylvania data centers. CoreWeave's $6 billion Lancaster project will create 600 construction jobs, and Blackstone plans $25 billion investment in Northeast Pennsylvania data centers. Westinghouse plans to build 10 large nuclear reactors in the U.S., interim CEO tells Trump. So Westinghouse plans to build 10 large nuclear reactors in the U.S. with construction to begin by 2030. The company disclosed its plans during a conference on energy and artificial intelligence at Carnegie Mellon University. Technology, energy, and financial executives announced more than $90 billion of investment in data centers and power infrastructure at the conference, according to the office of Senator Dave McCormick, who organized the event. Dave McCormick is a senator in Pennsylvania, and this was part of this big PA event here, which this also is part of it. So Google to unveil $25 billion AI infrastructure investment at Pennsylvania Energy Summit. And that's what it was. So Google plans to invest $25 billion in artificial intelligence infrastructure in the Mid-Atlantic region and other areas over the next 2 years. The company also agreed to purchase $3 billion in hydroelectric power in the region. Google is expected to announce the investments at the Pennsylvania Energy and Innovation Summit on Tuesday. So when you add all these things up here, so CoreWeave and Blackstone investing $31 billion in Pennsylvania data centers. Then you've got, Westinghouse is going to build 10 large nuclear reactors, which is great. They announced more than $90 billion in data centers and power infrastructure at this conference. Google getting in on the action with $25 billion infrastructure investments. So, this is just, crazy hot right now at the moment. And obviously, I think the question remains, will the data center thing become a major issue in years ahead? We'll have to see. So Meta CEO Zuckerberg says his first AI data supercluster will come online in 2026. So Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg on Monday said he plans to invest hundreds of billions of dollars into artificial intelligence compute infrastructure. The company plans to bring its first supercluster, which he calls Prometheus, online next year. Zuckerberg has been on a multi-billion-dollar AI hiring spree in recent weeks, highlighted by a $14 billion investment in Scale AI. So again, just crazy what's happening here. So Elon Musk says he does not support a merger between Tesla and xAI, but he backs investment. So Elon Musk said on Monday he does not support a merger between xAI and Tesla. On X, Musk suggested that Tesla plans to ask shareholders whether Tesla should invest in xAI. However, Musk owns X, xAI, and Tesla, and is contemplating the future business relationship between them all. And then finally, last couple of articles, Amazon jumps into AI vibe coding with preview of Kiro. So Amazon Web Services introduces a preview of Kiro, a program developers can use to write code with help from artificial intelligence. Kiro also generates diagrams and task lists to streamline development. Premium option will become available after the preview ends. So very interesting. Amazon-backed Anthropic rolls out Claude AI for financial services. So, Anthropic announced Claude artificial intelligence tools for the financial services sector. The AI tools can help financial professionals make investment decisions, analyze markets, and conduct research. The startup's Claude models and AI assistant have exploded in popularity as more businesses work to incorporate generative AI. And yes, I will have a lot more to say on this one in future episodes. So keep an eye out for this. This is obviously huge. We'll have to see what happens here with this Claude AI, but this could be really interesting to see what a lot of different, insurance, financial advising, banks. It'll be interesting to see what happens with this. And then last thing here, and I thought this was kind of interesting. AI fueled layoffs have unique fallout. These industries are seeing the most. So workers laid off because of artificial intelligence face longer unemployment periods. AI-related layoffs are most prominent in the technology sectors, and career transformation becomes necessary as AI changes the work landscape. So just again, very interesting. An analysis by talent and HR advisory firm LHH found AI is still accounting for only a small 12.4% share of job cuts overall, but that number is expected to grow. So very interesting. So technology getting hit more prominently than other areas. And the workers that get laid off because of AI face longer unemployment periods. So very, very interesting indeed. So, all right. Well, that is my AI update for this week. I hope people liked it or found a lot of this stuff interesting. I think a lot of this stuff is fascinating. But like I said, hope everybody's enjoying it. I will wrap up by saying if you like this episode, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. That always helps the channel. Remember, we are on YouTube, Rumble, and all major podcast platforms. Please be sure to leave your comments down below, as I always love getting back to everybody. And as always, make sure to check out some of the other content on the channel. I hope everyone has a great day out there. Thank you for listening, and I will see you again real soon. See ya.